Starting from the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? Hope you all are safe and sound at home. This is me, your English LIT teacher, Miss Tuba Farid. Students, today is your English LIT revision class, and in today's class we will do revision of those topics which are coming in your midterm. Students, these are the topics which are included in your syllabus. Our number one topic is The Adventure of Isabel, which is a poem. Our second topic is a chapter, Black Beauty. And our third topic is also a chapter, The Story of an Invitation. Here is the first topic of your syllabus, The Adventure of Isabel, written by Ogden Nash. Who was Ogden Nash? Ogden Nash was an American poet, well known for his unconventional poetry. Let's begin the summary of Adventure of Isabel, written by Ogden Nash. The Adventure of Isabel is a poem that reflects the courage of a little girl, no matter what hurdles came her way. In the first few lines, it says that the girl, instead of screaming or crying like any other child, even though the bear tried frightening her by saying that he is going to eat her, she remained calm and instead she ate the bear. Next, she meets with a witch in the midst of darkness, and the face of which was crooked with scary gums and teeth. Still then, Isabel was neither frightened nor did she scream. Instead, she turned the witch into milk and easily drank her up. Next, she meets a giant who was horrible looking and only having one eye on his forehead. Still she fears not and just courageously cut the giant's head off and moves further. Finally she meets a doctor who seemed to be troublesome. He tried all the treatments and later even offered her some pills. In spite of being treated by the doctor, she stood calm and treated the doctor by her attitude. So in this poem, Nash describes how the little girl is facing all the horrifying things and handling all the situations happening around her with calm attitude. This is all about this adventurous poem. Let's move on to our next chapter, which is Black Beauty. Black Beauty, written by Anna Sewell. Who was Anna Sewell? Anna Sewell was an English novelist. She is well known as the author of the 1877 novel Black Beauty. As I told you before, that Black Beauty is a novel written by Anna Sewell. A short excerpt from this novel is present in our book. The story is about the maltreatment of animals by human beings and how they misuse animals for their ardor. It is actually an autobiography of a horse. In this story, the horse is narrating a harshing scene of hunting. The scene describes as a hare was depart its way, and by taking the advantage of this situation, the dogs were chasing her to eat her up. Just in a moment, the show of 6 to 8 huntsmen also came, and now they all were running behind the hare. For this cause, dogs and huntsmen jumped off the brook. 2 horses fall down while jumping, one into the brook and the other on grass. And finally, the dog caught the hare, but huntsmen whipped them off and grabbed that hare from them. And that's the end of the story. The moral of the story is that everyone should be kind to animals, as they are also living, and human beings should care much, as they have brains. If they do such things, so there is no difference between animal and them. So here comes the last topic of your syllabus, The Story of an Invitation, written by Lucy Maud Montgomery. She was a Canadian author, best known for her series of novels. So let's start its summary. The Story of an Invitation is a story about 2 roommates and friends, Bertha and Grace. Bertha was an intelligent, bright, and pretty girl, whereas Grace was a quiet girl, always dressed in mourning. They were roommates in the Academy of Dartmouth. Grace was alone. She had no family and house. The aunt brought her up was recently died, whereas Bertha had her home in Riversdale, and she had also a loving aunt named Aunt Meg. They had their vacations, and on vacations, Bertha's aunt invited her at her home by sending a letter on her way. Bertha shared this good news with her friend Grace by sharing some caramels with her. On hearing this news, Grace became upset. Bertha asked Grace about her vacation plans. Grace replied that she had no vacations plans. She will go at Clarksman's shop to earn something so that she could pay her exams fee. When Bertha heard this, she got upset and felt sorry for her friend. She wrote letter to Aunt Meg that she should invite Grace to his home as she had no family. Aunt Meg got this letter and agreed on inviting Grace. Bertha told Grace that she could not go to Aunt Meg's place, so she asked Aunt Meg to invite you, and she agreed. Grace became happy but was little bit doubtful. Well, she went there in summer. Days passed and the summer slipped quickly. Bertha got two letters, one from Aunt Meg and the other from Grace. Grace wrote that she had a lovely time here and she wanted to stay here for the rest of her life. Now Bertha read the letter of Aunt Meg. She said in her letter that Grace is the sweetest girl and I wanted to make her my daughter. As you know that I always wanted a daughter, but due to my greedy brothers and sisters, I hadn't. She also wrote that you will not know her when you see her, as she has grown plumpy and rosy. Bertha became so glad to hear this all and is very happy that she is an angel in this story book. The moral of this story is that a true friend is the one who never left you in your difficult times and always sacrifices their happiness as Bertha did. Someone has said rightly that a friend in need is a friend indeed. Bertha proved her loyalty till end, even she was hurt. Students, this is the end of our revision class. Do learn all the work of these three topics done in your copies. Dear students, I hope that you understand all the topics I taught you in today's class. Thank you students. Take care of yourself. Stay home. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz.